Greetings everyone, Black Show here, welcome back to an episode of the Hunter Call of the Wild, continuing with the Emerald Coast Australia, which is the last reserve that I want to go through to unlock various outposts, lookout points and whatnot. And after that, I'm gonna be going to a different game.
If you're ready, we can get started. Wait, would you mind grabbing something before you head out? It's a book Robbo lent me ages ago.
A book? Which one? The one on imposter syndrome or the one on kangaroos?
The kangaroo one, yeah. I left it in the bar. You can't miss it, mate. Right, that's the book. Great job, you're the best. I'm flat out right now, so I reckon you'll visit Robbo's shelter before I do. You have no idea how stoked Robbo will be when he gets it. Your first task has to do with kangaroos. There are areas that are badly overgrazed because of them. There's one east of my station, so why don't you start heading there? We'll bring you up to speed on the way.
Ah, seems like we are going there either way. Yeah, there are kangaroos.
Since I reckon you're not familiar with roos yet, here's a bit of context. Later, we know you can do your own thing.
First, try to spot a roo from a distance without spooking them.
We have the eastern grey kangaroos around here. You'll find them in the outback, of course, but also in grassy bushlands.
Your best bet is to climb a fire lookout tower. Another workout for your calves, I'm afraid. They're a very important species in Australia, but they don't have a lot of natural predators. So they can easily be in overabundance and cause overgrazing. They can make life heaps harder for other animals and throw the whole ecosystem out of whack.
Not to mention the economic impact on our stations. Can't say it's been too brilliant in the last couple of years. There's just too much population control to be done. You can't keep up on your own.
So we often work with the government to hire professional hunters to help us out. Great. How's the view? Take out your binoculars and try to spot a kangaroo from up there, for starters. Soph is also a hunter herself, and she's the chair of our Hunters Association. They usually roam the outback, so you should be able to spot one. If you can't see any close by, you'll have to get out in the bush and track them down.
Yeah, we organise hunting parties with other hunters when we have the time.
Good. Ain't it beautiful? But before you start, there's a couple of things you need to know about kangaroo shooting. But most of the time, you all like to just hang out at your bar.
We have strict shooting regulations in Australia. What's legal or not to shoot, what's the right calibre and ammo for each species. That's part of the fun. Our community's not too bad here. Robbo, did you submit the codex entries for our local species?
Right, just finished them last night. If you want to know more about the roo or any other animal, It's all in there.
Or give us a call. Either way, we know you'll do your due diligence before you plan your next hunt.
Yeah, that's a roo if ever I've seen one. Be careful. Could be tough to hit a vital organ when they're on the move. The roo's mostly what we're known for overseas. That and deadly spiders. And fair enough, it's a very important cultural icon for us. But it's also a fascinating creature. Can be both aggro or skittish. As a marsupial,
Yeah, it wasn't a
displays
vital
unique
organ.
behaviours and movement patterns that you won't find in any other species.
Robbo, he turned his folk station into a wildlife sanctuary a few years ago.
Just one example. Don't try disturbing kangaroos at close range, or they'll know how to get rid of you.
Wasn't the best hunt, but it did the job done.
It's time to introduce you to one of your main tasks here. Invasive species and pest culling. We have heaps of them in Australia. Some are native, quite a few were introduced. They come in all shapes and sizes. I'll show you my tea fields. You'll see the mess pests can do and why they're a major problem to both the ecosystem and the economy. I've tagged the location on your hunter, mate. Can't wait to see you in action. Talk later. Oh, and as agreed, to help you in your task, our Hunters Association is happy to offer you a varmint rifle. You can just go collect it yourself. I've left it at an outpost close to where you're
What
going.
now? Ah, a camper. I kinda like the variety with the outposts. Makes things less boring, I suppose.
Back in the 18th and 19th centuries, people thought it would be fun to bring deer over and hunt them, just like they did back in Europe. Soon enough, they thrived in their new environment and started competing with native animals.
Yeah, within a few generations, deer populations were out of control. And that's just one of the many biodiversity challenges we have. Just in the last decade, we lost tons of threatened species.
Ah, we do get some mountainous area, I suppose. Oh well.
You'll often hear Aussies say that if you give it enough time, any species will become feral. Usually 2 to 3 generations tops. Here, you'll find mostly feral pigs and feral goats. Both of them are some of the worst invasive pests in Australia.
They destroy everything. We don't talk about them as much as rabbits or feral cats, but we should. The rule of thumb is, if it's feral, it's okay to shoot, because you'll be doing nature a service. They ruin pastures, crops, orchards, not to mention they're also a major road hazard out here in the bush.
Another fire tower. Damn. They are probably one of the longest to get to the top. Ah. That's not too bad when it comes to view. Not too bad at all. Hopefully yep, don't go through the ground. That's an interesting outpost. Okay, I guess it also makes sense.
Ah, the mighty banteng. You don't see them often in this region. Did you know they can be found eating seaweed sometimes?
Bar. Interesting name. You know what? Let's go here.
That's a cheetle, also known as an axis deer. Their herds can reach up to 100 individuals, but I've never seen anything above 12.
Yeah, if it's an outpost, I'm gonna get there first. At the very least, we have a respawn spot. Look, if it's revealed, I'm gonna go for it because, again, I cannot trust the game to actually show me all the necessary relevant points of interest. Back towards the lookout point we go. Alright, let's go for this unknown point, outpost, then turn west. Yeah, I know what we're gonna do.
That's a bloody rare sighting. Hog deer aren't even supposed to be out here. One thing you should know about them, they're like ninjas. Small, fast, elusive. So make good use of those binoculars. That looks like a samba deer. They're pretty rare, but somehow we can't fully get rid of them. That's a stubble quail. Resourceful little fella. Did you know it can survive without water if it has access to green foliage?
Those props are not really props, but like boxes from like a movie set. Looked familiar. I mean, New Zealand, Australia, probably it might be possible plot-wise. It's the same movie. Who knows? Maybe even there's a mission related to that. God damn it. Oh, towards this area. Please tell me it's shallow and I can go through. What section of it is?
red fox. Crafty buggers, aren't they? They were introduced for sport in the 19th century. 30 years later, they'd become an invasive pest species. They're now widespread all over the country.
You made it to the tea fields? Nice one. As you can see, the damage can be pretty bad when certain species become overabundant. That's why pest control is a responsibility everybody shares in Australia, even non-hunters. But for that, you'll need your varmint rifle. It's waiting for you. It's the perfect caliber to hunt small to medium animals. The only thing we'll ask is that you take a small target practice test. We want to test our hired hunters' skills and competence. Even pests need to be shot ethically.
Yeah, I don't gonna bother with that. As in, I'm not gonna bother doing the mission in the first place. Yeah, that one, I think it's on the other side of the mountain, right? Oh well. Really? I mean, okay, if I see it, I can go for it. Another hunting structure, joy. Really? Are you actually fucking serious right now? Or sometimes getting the builds option action to show up. It's freaking insane.